showing by the team. A few youngsters mixed among the experience, and really played well. Looking for much more of the same tonight.
Fantastic atmosphere in this tour, very much well received by the crowds down under. Arsenal fans there as well, but great opportunity for both of these Sydney franchises to take on one of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah, and I think it's great that they're playing in this stadium. If they played at their own stadiums, you know, they wouldn't get nowhere near as many fans in, but it really does showcase both the teams, and you know, propels Arsenal, I think, to the front of teams that have gone to Australia recently on tours. Arsenal is certainly making an impact.
Certainly is one of the great opportunities to play down in Australia. Arsenal and manager Arsene Wenger making a full 11 changes to the team that beat Sydney FC 2-0 last time out. As you can see, a whole host of new faces, including Lacazette starting from the start alongside Olivier Giroud, a very potent looking strike force. Plenty of star talent there, and one or two youngsters hoping to again make an impression, including Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And among the substitutes bench, all 11 players who started the first game all dropped down among the replacements. Take a look at Western Sydney Wanderers under their manager and former Australian international Tony Popovic. A couple of new signings. This, of course, their pre-season as well. Josh Ridston wearing 4 and Rolly Bonavascia wearing 8 are a couple of new additions to the Wanderers squad. A team that finished just 6th in the A-League last season, well below expectations after a few fine seasons before that. Among the replacements, Oriol Riera, the Spaniard, is the club's new marquee signing. 2 more new faces, Michael Thwaite and Mark Tokic, just 17 years old, could well feature later in this match. Wenger, looking nice and suntanned and relaxed, a bit like your good self.
Thank you very much, Russ. Yeah, I think he'll be happy now that he's got his contract woes out of the way. You know, he can really focus on the team, where the focus should be.
1 or 2 little tricks from the youngster. Oh, beautiful turn, fantastic football. Lacazette, what a talent this man is. He'll still come again. Niles' back heel, Rmasey's effort is deflected. Fantastic football from Alexandre Lacazette there as he bobbed and weaved in the area. Yeah,
it was. We can see him pick the ball up there from Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Great turn, great awareness, but look at the pace to get on that. Checks inside. It's unfortunate there. I think he just puts the ball into the ground slightly, slows it down, but then after
very busy early in this game. Got the slightly fortuitous ricochet. The decent delivery. Really, really good ball in there from Alex Iwobi. Right into that dangerous area just on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, that's right, Russ. The second 6-yard box, we used to call that one. So if you can hit that area, Iwobi looks up there, keeps it nice and low as well. Like I said, just couldn't get across the front of that near post. But really, if you've got someone coming around the back as well, they could be cleaning that up.
And one of sweetly struck from Monreal, smacked into the face of Clisby. Lovely turn. Excellent work from Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's a better ball to Giroud. Let's try one of those scorpion kicks like he scored from late last season.
I was just going to suggest that because after Per Mertesack's almost overhead kick in the first game against Sydney, yeah, that would have been a delight. Good work from the Oxy, a great fake, chops him off to the left and picks out Giroud there coming in round about the penalty spot, but you know, just couldn't get over it. But the Ox carving out a full potential. He's
always been playing slight catch-up, hasn't he? And it's very hard to shine at your very best if you're starting 5-10% behind everybody else. I agree. He worked from Iwobi to Oxlade-Chamberlain. This is a better cross. Defender doesn't get there. Oh, Lacazette appeals for handball. Western Sydney defence with 6s and 7s, and Lacazette ghosting in at the far post. Just couldn't quite get the shot away.
Yeah, and I think the appeal for handball was more just because he didn't take that opportunity. I feel that if he'd have come to the ball and hit that possibly first time, it would have been difficult because it would have been basically on a half volley. But for me, he could have smacked that first time, side foot, bang, straight back in. Good challenge from the defenders though, nice and tight to him. It does pop up and hit a hand, but that's never going to be deliberate.
It was an outstretched hand from the skipper, but the NZ Stadium turf is starting to cut up quite badly, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, compared to pitches I used to play on, Ross, that's still a dream.
Lovely ball in, and that was the first real genuine chance for Arsenal. Much better dead ball delivery. Olivier Giroud rising highest, got it on target, but straight at the keeper, and would have hoped for far better.
Yeah, definitely. See, that makes the difference. It's all about the delivery. For me, Giroud's got to do a lot better than that. He's just trying to glance it down into the ground when he's got an opportunity of really banging that into the back of the net. But it was a great delivery, the first one.
This time Oxlade-Chamberlain is beaten to the ball. Thumping challenge though on Mr. Cup. A little bit of needle as Xhaka is involved with Jacob Melling, who lashes out. Jacob Melling's not happy.
He's not happy. Emotions are getting a little bit too high there. Flung an arm out there at Xhaka, and Xhaka was just trying to be quite friendly. I think he was trying to be respectful.
Melling in his second season with Western Sydney from Melbourne City, and it all started with this forceful but well-timed challenge from Laurent Koscielny, didn't it?
It's a very well-timed tackle, and Xhaka, look, he's just gone in to pull Melling away from the situation, lashed out a little bit with his arm. I think in a league game that could warrant some action from the referee, but I think in a friendly it's best to keep it nice and low-key as it's playing. And they seem to drive the game forward for me with their enthusiasm.
Break off for a moment, lovely 1-2. Monreal to Giroud, and that's a wonderful finish from Olivier Giroud. Got a tiny bit of the goal to aim at, not much room to work with, and Olivier Giroud pushes his first team credentials for the season to come with his first of pre-season. It's a belting goal from the Frenchman. Arsenal 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.
Yeah, it's a good run from Nacho. He gets the 1-2 off of Lacazette, picks Giroud out, and he just lifts it into that near post area. It was a good time to cut me off there, Russ, as well, because it is our first real penetration down outside where we've had a clean chance and we've dispatched it well. Giroud gets off the mark.
Wenger impressed with what he's seen, and this is just what Arsenal need. It's competition for places. Giroud pushed on by Lacazette. Lovely ball over the top from Monreal. That's fantastic football to Rmasey. Oh, what a goal from Arsenal! Route 1, but that variety of the Gunners' attack really pays dividends. Brilliant ball over the top from the veteran Spaniard. Rmasey onto it in a flash. Cool, calm head. The composure to slide it home. Arsenal 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.
Yeah, it's kind of a straight ball from Nacho, but Ramsey's been making those runs all half. He's been trying. No one's took the chance on him, but it is a fantastic ball from Nacho. Just holds up really nicely, bounces 2 foot in the air, and he takes it lovely. Left foot, just lifts it over Janjetovic. There's nothing he can do in the goals. It's a really good finish.
He did his best there. Cool, calm, calculated, and on deft left-footed touch. Niles into Lacazette, who fancies getting involved in the action, to Giroud. Held the ball up well and turned, fired it on goal. On either side of the keeper, that could have been number 3. I think forward play there from Giroud again.
Yeah, Lacazette to Giroud. I mean, as we said earlier, they was involved in the goal, involved again here. It's good that he's looking for his centre-forward partner, his teammate. Giroud does well. Shroud tried something, it didn't pay off. And those things, when everybody else is playing so well, can stand out.
Excellent striking play from Giroud again. Dispossesses his man. Still going, Giroud. Appeals for a penalty. And Hamill it was who came back. Bonavassi, the player who gave it away to Giroud. A riotous smile as Hamill charging back, and his arms were tucked into his chest. Let's take another look. I think ball to hand there.
Yeah, ball to hand. When players pull their hand down by their side, you can't really give anything. He's showing the referee that he doesn't want to put his hand near it.
Bending in the end. Rmasey screaming for the ball. Instead, it's into Iwobi, who holds it up well. Elneny from distance takes a deflection, and it is number 3, Mohamed Elneny gets it on the act. He's had a cracking half, the young Egyptian. A howitzer from distance, big deflection. Keeper with no chance, and Arsenal hit 3 before half-time. Arsenal 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.
Yeah, it's a good strike from Elneny. He's sweeping up around the edge of the box. Iwobi don't quite get it right, and he just sets him Yes, it takes a deflection, a big deflection from Brendan Hamill, it looks like. And he's just as happy with that, though. I think it's on target, so he probably will get given the goal. Good finish.
Just going to say exactly that. I think it's on target. That was a good camera angle. It was in and around that left post. North's captain goes in field. Xhaka, though, does go for the long ball. Fantastic touch from Oxlade-Chamberlain. This is brilliant football. Iwobi's got options, one of which is Giroud. Oh, couldn't quite get the shot away. Can Xhaka? Can Lacazette? Giroud again. Players queuing up on the edge of the box. No number 4. So Sydney just about cling on. Monreal doesn't get a goal to round off what was an excellent half, particularly the final 15 minutes from Arsenal. Olivier Giroud on the score sheet. Well taken over.
To Giroud, and he comes in off the side. You know, he's used to playing in a partnership.
Brilliant run from Oxlade-Chamberlain, who takes 3 players out of the game. He's still going the Ox. He's running into a little bit of a blind channel, but does fantastically Oxlade-Chamberlain. This is a brilliant run. The appeal was certainly valid to put out there because there was a bit of a shoulder block. Should maybe surrendered right. There is one Arsenal change, nothing to do with the 10 outfield players, but David Ospina has been replaced by the Argentinian Emiliano Martinez. So Emi Martinez on for the second half. Elneny looking for a second goal. What an effort from Mohamed Elneny. Giroud over the crossbar. Elneny with a deflected first went for a sweetly struck and pure second. Bending, beautiful effort, and half an inch out.
Well, this one certainly doesn't take a deflection. He's got a little bit of time to set it up, but he guides that beautifully inside of his right foot. Look at the curl, and it's just coming down a little bit too late, underside of the bar. Normally you see those, they'll go down and go over the line. That one, unfortunately, bounces a yard out and Giroud just can't get on the end of it. Lovely technique, though. Beautiful technique.
Maybe not even half an inch, a quarter of an inch. That would have then clipped the bar and gone in, I think.
But this guy tries to control it, but it went out of play, fortunately, for the Wanderers.
Elneny shoots, is the cry from the crowd. Clever delivery instead. The keeper's not got there. Can Lacazette hook it back in? Giroud does well. Still again, who's the man on the line to smack the ball to safety. Keeper had done well up until this point, but overstretched himself a bit there. He decides to go right at the second time of asking to Risdon. To Bonavacia, who couldn't control it, but it falls kindly. Belting effort. Martinez was called into action. Thumps the woodwork. Goes for a back pass there against Rmasey, and that's been given. Rmasey, I think, is saying he didn't really know quite where he was and was just clearing the ball, but ultimately he did pass it straight back to the keeper, Emi Martinez.
Yeah, it all came from this lovely shot. I think it's Clisby, strikes it cleanly, and again we're talking about maybe an inch this time. That was more central in the bar, but if that one goes in, you know, it gives them a bit of confidence. I can't see him coming back from it, but it's led to this indirect free kick that's going to be right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Someone could be taking one in the face here.
Don't see these kind of situations too often in the modern day game. Emiliano Martinez and pretty much the entire Arsenal team, as you can see, on the goal line. Referee Gillette just making sure that nobody dares to encroach. Can't really be 10 yards in this situation, but you can certainly be 6.
One thing you've got to be is brave.
Base, part of the anatomy, who knows? Well blocked. Goal is scored in the end, though, by Western Sydney. Follow up from Stephen Lustica. Initial effort reined in by Melling. Lustica, the former Hajduk Split man, the Brisbane Roar, fires one home, and they're on the board of Western Sydney. Arsenal 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 1.
Well, you know, it's an opportunity which you should score from when you're that close. First one, as you say, gets whacked in here. In fact, it's the same player, hits the first one. Melling touches it to him, comes off the side of Giroud, back to Lustica, and he just, you know, takes it really well into the roof of the net. And it's a goal that you could say they deserve. They've done quite well for the first 12 minutes of this half. It's been slightly more even, and they've taken their first opportunity. Made fresh faces, and not exactly players without a pedigree.
Elneny with a poor pass this time, and Lustica is the player who intercepts. Shelney's on his heels. Oh, and they've got their timing wrong. There were numbers both sides for Western Sydney. Ashok picked it up. just mistiming of the run and the pass. Doing his best to dispossess Jack Clisby. Again, it's Sydney who are the team bringing the ball forward. Side, I think, is the call. It is. Here's Herrera. On target from the club marquee signing. The first touch that might well have been for the club had he banged that one home.
Yeah, it was a really good run from him as well. He's held his line until the last minute. Bent into the look in between Elneny and Monreal. Really good timing. Didn't expect him to be able to turn also and get a shot off, but did really well. Looked like one of the superstars.
Asinak with a lovely interception there. Here's Welbeck. Welbeck thinks about the shot. He caught slightly in two minds there. He missing a penalty in the game on Thursday. Keen to atone for that with a goal. And as mentioned, has changed positions already in his young career at 19 years old. Excellent turn from one of the older campaigners, Theo Walcott. Well over 10 years at the club for Theo. Thought that Walcott had picked up an injury niggle in game one, but he appears to be full of running, even if then he couldn't quite feed Nketiah.
Yeah, he looks fit and strong, doesn't he? Just a little bit too much on the pass, but does well to wriggle free and turn. Be able to run. It's a good turn, good first touch of his left foot. Good strength. Then the pace to move away from the players. It's just this final little pass, needs to just have a little bit taken off it.
But with a bit of a slick back hair controlled by Coquelin. It's more like it. Nketiah turns, but be a flash trick too many. Coquelin reads the loose ball, finds Walcott. As Elneny did early in the second half, Walcott opening up that right boot to bend one into the corner. We saw it pretty much every inch of the way, though.
Yeah.
Calming. Side run from him, though. He's given it away very cheaply, and Joe Willock is the player upended. Willock's been clipped in pretty cynical fashion. Joe Willock running across the edge of the 18-yard box, and well, have not been too far away from pulling the trigger. Will be a free kick in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, I think he definitely would have tried to pull the trigger in the first game. I thought he was outstanding. Brother of Chris, who's managed to get himself a little move to Benfica. Didn't see a future for himself at Arsenal, so he's moved on. Yeah, I think if Willock had gone a couple more yards without being tugged there, he would have pulled the trigger on that one. Maybe got his first goal.
I think last season was the one that if Chris was going to really establish himself in the Arsenal first team picture, it needed to be then, and you can understand it's a great loss because he's a great young player. I can kind of see why maybe that decision was made for his future development. Joe Willock, his younger pro, great talent, has won this free kick. Bent him beautifully. Oh, the ball was begging to be buried for the fourth. Fantastic free kick from Mesut Ozil. So much class in that delivery. Such a relaxed aura as he tried to fire this one home.
Yeah, look, no chance. Janjetovic hasn't even tried to dive for it. He knows he's got no chance, and really the rebound should have been followed up, put in. There he comes in here, just nicks it off the toe, and he, given the foul, I think it was slightly dangerous, slightly high, but it's in a good position now for Mesut Ozil. Let's see what he does with this one.
Bright grin on his face after that wonderful effort that was denied to him by the woodwork. Steps away. Second time around for Ozil. Will it be his first goal of pre-season? It's a second. Not too far away, or just left him alone.
He knows he should have had 2 in 2, Mertesacker, but you know, it just shows the quality of Mesut Ozil. That free kick was nowhere near as good as his first one.
Morris. Asinak. Yeah. More tricks from Eddie. Better play this time as the ball is poked through from Ozil. Walcott! Oh, excellent save. He's had a slightly difficult time at times, Šantenović, in the second half, but he was unsighted there. The Croatian-born Aussie did well to stick out a big left hand. Yeah,
that's a good save, proper save there. You know, and
kind of lost it again, and now they've won it again.
Yeah, it's very much like that. I mean, it's to be expected in the 89th minute. It's a bit end to end, and
This be the fourth goal. This is a much better move to Nketiah, who's rattled the woodwork again. Walcott! Oh, good block from the defender. The skipper Cornthwaite, he got across.
At the post again.
Back to Ozil. Lovely little pass from Ozil to him, and yeah, pretty much everything right. Goal for the youngster would have been such a boost to his confidence. We've seen how many goals he scored for Arsenal's under-18s. Less to the brilliant 70 minutes of the previous game, but will this be the fourth at last? Ozil's through ball is a beauty. Looking for Walcott again. And again, the Wanderers' defence just about holds firm at the death. Arsenal coming forward in droves. Nketiah surely this time. What a fine piece of defending. The ball just didn't fall to him.
Yeah, and again, I think if he releases that really quickly, if he does one of them showing by the team, a few youngsters mixed among the experience, and really played well, looking for much more of the same tonight.
Fantastic atmosphere in this tour, very much well received by the crowds down under. Arsenal fans there as well, but great opportunity for both of these Sydney franchises to take on one of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah, and I think it's great that they're playing in this stadium. If they played at their own stadiums, you know, they wouldn't get nowhere near as many fans in, but it really does showcase both the teams, and you know propels Arsenal, I think, to the front of teams that have gone to Australia recently on tours. Arsenal certainly making an impact.
Certainly is one of the great opportunities to play down in Australia. Arsenal and manager Arsene Wenger making a full 11 changes to the team that beat Sydney FC 2-0 last time out. As you can see, a whole host of new faces, including Lacazette starting from the start alongside Olivier Giroud, a very potent looking strike force. Plenty of start talent there, and one or two youngsters hoping to again make an impression, including Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And among the substitutes bench, all 11 players who started the first game all dropped down among the replacements. Take a look at Western Sydney Wanderers under their manager and former Australian international Tony Popovic. A couple of new signings. This, of course, their pre-season as well. Josh Ridgeton wearing 4 and Rolly Bonavasha wearing 8 are a couple of new additions to the Wanderers squad. A team that finished just 6th in the A-League last season, well below expectations after a few fine seasons before that. Among the replacements, Oriol Riera, the Spaniard, is the club's new marquee signing. 2 more new faces, Michael Thwaite and Mark Tokic, just 17 years old, could well feature later in this match. Wenger, looking nice and suntanned and relaxed, a bit like your good self.
Thank you very much, Russ. Yeah, I think he'll be happy now that he's got his contract woes out of the way. You know, he can really focus on the team, where the focus should be.
1 or 2 little tricks from the youngster. Oh, beautiful turn, fantastic football. Lacazette, what a talent this man is, and he'll still come again. Niles' back heel, Ramsey's effort is deflected. Fantastic football from Alexandre Lacazette there as he bobbed and weaved in the area. Yeah,
it was. We can see him pick the ball up there from Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Great turn, great awareness, but look at the pace to get on that. Checks inside. It's unfortunate there. I think he just puts the ball into the ground slightly, slows it down, but then after...
Very busy early in this game. Got the slightly fortuitous ricochet. The decent delivery. Really, really good ball in there from Alex Iwobi. Right into that dangerous area just on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, that's right, Russ. The second 6-yard box, we used to call that one. So if you can hit that area, Iwobi looks up there, keeps it nice and low as well. Like I said, just couldn't get across the front of that near post. But really, if you've got someone coming around the back as well, they could be cleaning that up.
And one of sweetly struck from Monreal, smacked into the face of Clisby. Lovely turn. Excellent work from Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's a better ball to Giroud. Let's try one of those scorpion kicks like he scored from late last season.
I was just going to suggest that because after Per Mertesack's almost overhead kick in the first game against Sydney, yeah, that would have been a delight. Good work from the Oxy, a great fake, chops him off to the left and picks out Giroud there coming in round about the penalty spot, but you know, just couldn't get over it. But the Ox carving out a full potential.
He's always been playing slight catch-up, hasn't he? And it's very hard to shine at your very best if you're starting 5-10% behind everybody else. I agree. He worked from Iwobi to Oxlade-Chamberlain. This is a better cross. Defender doesn't get there. Oh, Lacazette appeals for handball. Western City defence with 6